You are very active in Planned Parenthood, are you not?
No, Senator.
Okay. Well, Planned Parenthood, in its annual reports, lists you as a, quote, silver friend, close quote. Do you know what a silver friend means?
I don't, Senator.
That's someone who has donated between $1,000 and $2,500 to Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho. That's in the Planned Parenthood annual reports. You don't know anything about that?
I don't recall. What I recall, Senator, is that my husband had donated to Planned Parenthood, and I think at some point in time they listed me along with him, but I believe that was a donation.
This is you.
Okay.
And in fact, they say that as of 2018, you've been a donor for at least 10 consecutive years. Is that right?
I do not recall donating them for the last 10 consecutive, 10 years before 2018 or 10?
That's as of?
I don't recall, Senator.
Okay, you don't remember. Okay, let me ask you, you're on the Court of Appeal. Let me ask you about a few of your cases. Do you remember a case called State v. Westwood?
I believe so, Senator.
And you were reversed in that case, weren't you?
Senator, in reviewing my cases, I think I've been reversed in about 2% of the cases that I've issued. I've issued almost...
Were you reversed in that case, though?
That was a very complicated case regarding sentencing law.
But I'm going to run out of time, and I got a bunch of these.
Okay.
Were you reversed?
That might have been one of the 2% of the cases. I think so. I believe that was one of the 2% of cases,
You remember
Senator.
a case called Personal Restraint of Heiress?
That, I think, was the case regarding whether or not the person had been deprived.
Were you reversed in that case?
That was, I think I was not reversed.
Were you reversed in that case, counsel?
Senator, I think that I wasn't reversed as to outcome, but it was one of the 2% of the cases where the state Supreme Court disagreed with the analysis.
You remember a case called Parental Rights of ALK? Were you reversed in that case?
Senator, I think that was one of the 2% of my over 450 cases where there was a reversal.
Do you remember a case called State v. Log Bomb?
I recall that case, Senator. That case.
Were you reversed in that case?
That was one of the 2% of cases. I issued an opinion to affirm a conviction, and the state Supreme Court overruled that and reversed.
Remember a case called State v. Barboza v. Cortez? Were you reversed in that case?
Senator, that case is not coming to mind. Again, I've issued over myself personally written over.
A judicial nominee with a 98% affirmation rate faces intense questioning from Senator John Kennedy during a U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. From controversial statements on systemic racism to donations to Planned Parenthood, this explosive exchange covers case reversals, political bias allegations, and judicial philosophy. Don't miss this compelling breakdown of a nominee under fire with the future of the courts in the balance. Subscribe for more political deep dives and courtroom drama. In one of the most scrutinized judicial confirmation hearings of the year, a nominee to the Washington State Court of Appeals faced fierce questioning from Senator John Kennedy. What began as a standard round of questions quickly turned into a contentious back and forth over political activism, judicial impartiality, and a surprising number of reversals on his donation history.
I don't recall donating. I believe they listed me along with him.
Despite repeated assertions of not remembering specific contributions, Kennedy reads from Planned Parenthood's reports, stating she's been a listed donor for over a decade. The tension rises.
To mind again, I've issued over myself personally written over 450 decisions.
You remember a case called State v. Telvik?
Senator, I think I recall that name. That might have been one of the 2% of cases.
In that too?
That might have been one of the 2% of cases,
okay.
Senator.
Another case, Hendrickson v. Moses Lake School. Were you reversed in that case?
Senator, I recall that case. I think that might have been one of the 2% of cases where the state Supreme Court disagreed with the analysis of another appellate court.
Were you reversed? You remember a case called State v. Curry? Were you reversed there?
Senator, I think you're reading off all the cases. I think that's one of the 2% of cases.
Okay. How about a case called State v. Rathbone? Were you reversed?
That's probably one of the 2%, Senator.
How about a case called Douglas v. Shamrock Paving Company.
Senator, that's
Reversed.
a case where I was largely affirmed. The only thing that was a reversed, I included everything, even if it was just a partial reverse. The only thing that I was reversed on was an award of attorney fees. The substance of the law, which was rather new in that case regarding what constituted an investigation for an environmental
So
cleanup.
you weren't reversed?
That part of it I was affirmed.
Yeah, I think that
her peers, but that hasn't insulated her from political fire. In an era where every word, every donation, and every judgment is scrutinized, this hearing reminds us, the courtroom may be impartial, but the confirmation process is anything but. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Is this a fair evaluation or political theater? Like this video if you want more breakdowns from Capitol Hill, and don't forget to subscribe for more sharp analysis.